There is an alternative to deleting tasks, and that's to make it inactive. And by making a task inactive, it doesn't have a play or a say in the Gantt chart or any of the activities that are taking place in your project file. So if we take the file My Bedroom Inactive, what you'll find here in the middle is a little section here of 3 tasks that have actually been linked together. Really, this is just to show what happens when you make a task inactive. But if we wanted to remove the curtain pole, we're thinking, do we need to? Don't we need to? Now I could just delete the task and then add it back later if we do. Or for the moment, just to see how it pans out with our planning, I could make that task inactive so it doesn't have any say in the proceedings. To make a task inactive, fairly easy job. We go to the task ribbon, come along to the schedule group, and here's our option, Inactivate. One little click and it's now inactive. And by visually changing its appearance to being grey text with a line through, and even greying out the task mode and just putting a border around the actual progress bar in the Gantt chart, you can see that that task is now inactive. It still sits in the project, but it has no say in the project's progress. Now, if we were to do that with a task that sits in the middle of a link, so sand the woodwork, for example, we can see there is a little flow here from fill the woodwork holes, comes down to sand the woodwork, which then follows on with paint the woodwork. Now, if I make sand the woodwork inactive, because we're not really sure whether we need to or not, let's fill the holes and then paint it. Shortcut really, but we're not sure. Let's make it inactive. Watch here what happens. I come up to the top, inactivate this particular task, and you can see the same thing happens. It goes grey, line through, border on the Gantt chart, and the task that's meant to follow on from it now actually comes backwards a bit and follows on from the previous. So it doesn't go back to its original location of right back here at the start of the project. It goes back to following on from the one above, so fill the woodwork holes. So you can see the knock-on effect there in the Gantt chart. That task is effectively ignored. Anything that follows on is then moved back to the beginning where the inactive task would have started. Now, if you suddenly decide, or not even suddenly, after a meeting, decide that you should actually sand the woodwork, then you can reactivate this task by selecting it, going up to Inactivate on the schedule group, and you can see it's selected. So all I need to do is click to deselect, and the task becomes active again and has its say in the Gantt chart. And the same with remove the curtain pole. I want to reactivate it. I come up to Inactivate, which is selected, one click, and that reactivates my remove the curtain pole. So any effect it's having on the project then starts again. It starts to have an effect. So that's an option, sort of alternative to deleting the task. It's a task that you might not be sure you're going to carry out, but you might do. So you currently inactivate it, you make it inactive. It has no say in the current project plan, but still sits there should you need to bring it back and reuse it.